That's all I can say for now. But at the end of the day, we know it's the people to make the choice. The people who are under the pressure, the people who bawling and crying, they have to make that decision as to whether they're going to support the PNM and stay in that dead zone of and bring death to their life, or they're going to support the UNC and bring some life. Because whether we like it, I don't like to use this sentence about the best of the two evil. Because I'm not going to say it like that at all. We don't want no evil running our country. So we want persons who are there and is going to seek the interests of the people of this land, of this nation, of this country. That is what, and I am not seeing that under the leadership of Stuart Young or anybody else from the PNM, based on what has been happening, and nobody stand up for right. Nobody stands up and say wrong is wrong and right is right. No, I'm not seeing that. I am not seeing all of them come together. A simple, typical thing is when the Prime Minister wanted to have Stuart Young not elected, but appointed by him. And they had to do the vote. And we had Penny who went up as well against, and they go against Penny. And then at the end of the day, Penny herself went and support Stuart Young and talking about party first. Come on. Come on. Come on. We want better than that.
Yeah.
We want better than that. She should have stand up. Because I know she would have gotten the support. Because many people is not happy with what Keith Rowley is doing. Many people is not happy with Stuart Young. Look at the history of things that has been done under his purview. I'm not going to talk about it. People knows.
Yeah.
They don't want that. And as much as people will talk about Kamala Persad-Bissessar, there are much people who still want her. They would say when she was there, we fear better. We didn't get everything, but we fear better. And I know this time around, she is going to give people what they deserve in this country.
Yeah.
I know. She's going to do it. So I am supporting her 200%. I may not support some of the MPs who are there now presently and probably want to go back up as a candidate, but I am supporting Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar and the United National Congress. And I'm praying every day for her that she make the right choice when it comes to candidates for the constituency. That's what I do. Every day that she make the right, that the Holy Spirit will allow her to make the right choice. Who vex, they lost. But there's much that they all can do. If they were doing right, she wouldn't have to think twice to remove anybody. But if you haven't been doing right and doing what is necessary for the constituents, what do you want to go back there to do?
Well, I mean, I know everybody would be paying attention to what is happening.
Yeah, we all are. We all are. And I want to be a part of it to ensure that, people are served. One of the things I remember she said in 2010, serve the people, serve the people, serve the people. Put God in front, walk behind, serve the people. But, as a leader, you say certain things, but you have to ensure that you're like a bull over them. You understand? To make sure they do what is right. And if they're not doing, move them out. Get somebody else. And I'm not going to say that there is not what is the word I want here? Inequality. Because I saw how Minister Jack Warner was dealt with. And then I heard of other people, and I didn't see them being dealt with as the way that Jack Warner was dealt with. So, I mean, like I would say, she's a human being, and we all make errors, okay? But it was not in the majority. So, right now, all I'm praying for is our house get in order under the UNC, and my political leader do what is right. That's all. And that's my opinion. That is my feeling. Anybody else could stay and do what they want. You understand?
Yeah, very much.
Because at the end of the day, if UNC don't win, I know what I am doing. I know where I'll be going. You understand? So,
I mean, the goal really is to reach to a point where it don't matter who in government. So
that's it. It should be that way because they understand and they're there for the people. But right now, that is not what is happening under the PNM.
No, I mean that I personally would just like to get to a point where it doesn't matter who is in government.
Okay.
You know, that your situation so fixed now.
That it don't matter.
And yeah, and I think that's what I am striving. I'm striving
A lot of
toward
people is trying to get there, and
because
once you're consistent,
oh Lord have
persistent, it
mercy.
will happen for you.
The constant um pondering and wondering and contemplation about what your future would be um based on who is at the helm is very, very stressful. It is very, very stressful, you know?
It's
So,
not for me. Personally, it's not for me, but for the people that I talk with, I deal with the people who I give hampers to, the people
mhm,
who I communicate with on a daily basis who are in need, the parents with autistic children who cannot get to school because there isn't enough schools. They're not getting any help from community development. Some who are getting is just like $1,500. They have so much commitment. They cannot work as a single parent because of their child or children. Okay, because I know
mhm.
of a woman, her both children are autistic. One is a little more than the other. These are hard situations to deal with, Hadassah. She
Yeah,
cannot leave. The father leave and gone. She cannot leave. She has, because the father leave and gone and nobody would say anything. If she
hmm.
were to leave the children and go, what is going to happen? And everybody will talk about the mother. Okay? So these are the scenarios. These are the people that the government is responsible for to ensure that they have proper accommodation. They are getting finances because she can't even go anywhere to live. Some people may have family support, some don't. Some don't have family support, and it's hard. This is why some of them contemplate on taking their lives, killing the children, and take,
Yeah,
how much of that I have to deal with.
yeah, that's very sad.
And
The thing
this is
about
what
it
we
is
have.
the awareness, because
Mm-hmm.
I would say that I was very oblivious to things that were happening in the country, right? Until I had what I would call a political awakening, right? But the thing about it is that that's something that you cannot turn off,
That's
right?
right.
So for me, I'm at the point where I feel like I need to like reduce the volume on the voices. But once you start to see the injustices, when you start to see the inequity, when you start to see the unfairness, it's not something that you can not see anymore.
That's right.
And that's why I'm here on a Sunday evening when I could just have my foot up, watching a movie and eating ice
That's right.
cream.
Eating some ice cream.
Because there's this compulsion now that you have to talk about it, and you have to feel like even though I might be a small cog in the machine of all things Trinidad and Tobago, I still want to do my part. I still want to do my part. Um, yeah, so that's where we are.
Yeah, that's where we are. But one thing I would want to recommend, if we want a better, safer country to live, government needs to do proper data, go into every constituency, find out. And I mean, this is only a government who care would do it. I'm surely not doing it. How much autistic children we have, autistic family, how much poverty-stricken family, those who with the age group who cannot afford to pay rent and had to go and shack up a little thing somewhere, have no proper running water, no lights. There are a lot of people in our communities that are like that because they were forced to go down that road. They lost their jobs, or even if they're working, it's not sufficient to pay the rent because after landlords pay these taxes, these property taxes, rent went up because they are not absorbing those costs. The tenants have to absorb it. And I mean, it's only right if the landlord is paying more money they would want to pass that on to the tenants, and government who are there through the PNM don't care about it. And I heard Mrs. Bisassa said that if she gets in there, she's going to scrap that property tax. A lot of people is happy to hear it because it is a pressure on a lot of people. All
Yeah.
right. And a lot of people had to take their last, little money and get some plyboard or whatever and put up a little shack, not even knowing when whoever will come and demolish them, but hoping that they're safe. They would be there for a little while. It hasn't been easy for a lot of people. So a lot of citizens are suffering in this country, and there are people in government who don't even care. I don't even know if they are aware. But when I listen to the MP for La Hoquita, when he spoke about, he dismissed the person who was asking him the question so quickly to talk about it is HGC. He did not, I don't even think he went and looked. When it's time for election, you walk in and you want people vote, but did he even go to La Hoquita? Mr. Cummins, did he even go there just to comfort people, even if you didn't have somewhere? And I mean, as a minister, you can't tell me you don't have somewhere. Call the same agency and get some place for them to bunk. It have plenty agency houses unoccupied. Give it to them for a while until you sort it out, because you seem not to know. You said it was agency. Agency said they knew nothing about it. So these are the things. These heartlessness is what I can't understand with these politicians. Did anybody go to these people plight? Yes, they voted PNM and they made it clear they voted and supported him. But where they are today, okay? And this is when you are a true servant of the people. You would show by a heart of compassion, go there. They bulldoze the people, everything, the mattress, if rain had fallen, everything would have been wet. And I mean, to me, this is the mantra for PNM. Anytime PNM in power, they love to do that. They love to demolish people's home without giving them any options. And I know under the UNC, that is not a thing at all. That happens. Even if it happened, it probably would have been an oversight. It is not something that our political leader and other ministers would encourage. If it happened, I hope it didn't to anybody, but you might find some people who got demolished under the UNC for whatever the reason. And I'm saying it should not be happening under the PNM nor the UNC. These people are there because they need a home. They can't afford to rent a place, as the case may be. See about these people. These are citizens of our country. See about them. So
I think there's a numbness that takes place. People talk about, like, if you are a doctor and you're seeing 100 patients every day, and after a while you don't really see people. It's just, and you kind of become numb and maybe a little bit insensitive. It's the same thing with us too, how we treat with trauma in this country. If every day is 3 murders, this, whatever, and after a while it just kind of gets numb to it. And I feel like there is some political numbness where, the government is not
a political numbness. We're taking the money from our purse because they sure know how to take the money
they have no
and do what they have to do
but
and not see about the people.
Of being attuned to the needs or hearing the cries of the people.
Because they don't want to, Hadassah. They don't want to. Once you take an oath, this position, you have to be able to listen, to whom are going back in, or to whom much is given, much is required. And if you know you can't handle it, don't apply yourself to it.
I mean, I totally agree. The thing about it is that none of these ministers are required to go and do like heavy labor and stand up in the sun.
No.
And we're not actually telling you to build the HGC houses,
No.
But all you need to do really is to pay attention to what is on the ground and to advocate for these people, put things in place, have timelines, and then execute and make sure that it's done. And they're not even doing that.